ahead and hit record. All right. And they're all KW agents anyway. So we're amongst family. Okay, so today we're going to talk about campaigns. One of my favorites. Got an iPhone coming in. So for those of you who haven't learned from me before, because I know we have some visitors here from Durham, anytime that you're going to be working in Command, it is always recommended that you use Google Chrome and that you work in an incognito window when possible. You don't have to do it every single time. But if you're not working in there, that's okay, Christine. I just like to know who everybody is, honey. If you're working in Google Chrome or if you're working in another browser and you see something glitching out, first answer is always, always, always to go to Google Chrome to an incognito window first to see if that fixes what the issue is. And if you're a why person, the reason behind that is that as they update the system, fix any glitches, add new content or new things for us to do in the system, your regular browsers are storing background data. And so you're working in a previous version. It's like when your phone needs an update, right? So if we are working in Google Chrome, we can either Control Shift in on a PC or we can go to a new incognito window. And all my Mac folks, I know that there's a shortcut for an incognito window too that I cannot get to come to my head at the time. So we go in and we look like this, our cool little man with our spy glasses. And I know that all of the agents that know me are probably tired of me saying this to them. And I apologize, but we do have visitors. So then we're going to navigate on over to agent.kw.com and log into our command system. We'll let that get going. And while this is loading, I know that they are working in tasks this week. There we go. So it's being a little slow. For those of you that do not know how to get to my YouTube channel because you are not part of my market center, pretty simple. You can just go to YouTube and type KW Triad Tech in the search bar and you'll see me. So that's where my classes end up after they've been recorded. Unless there's just something awful and then I might not put them up there, but usually they get put up there. So, okay, we are now in Command. If we ever forget what our applets are called on the left-hand side, we can hover over them to find out, or we can click the white KW on the red background, pop that bar out, and we are going to move into our campaign section, okay? So within our campaign section, there are many, many things that we can do. I'm actually teaching a Facebook ad specific class next week that is only going to be Facebook ads, and that is also going to be next Wednesday at 1 p.m. So that's where I'm going to dive deeper into the actual paid ads on Facebook. Today we're going to look at all of the things that we can do within the campaigns applet, okay? So I'm actually going to start at the end first, because if it's free, it's for me, and social posts are free. So if you're a new agent, if you're working with a small budget, you have lots of options of things that you can do. I do recommend that we schedule out our social media posts as much as possible. Real estate agents are busy, y'all. I know that. I am a broker. I no longer sell, but when I was selling, I understand how busy it can really get bogged down in the day-to-day and all the things that nobody wants to have to say, oh, I forgot to post something on Facebook today, right? So time block an hour or two. I usually try to do towards the end of a month. So, the 25th or so, go ahead and plan out some content for your entire next month. That way, if you get bogged down, you get too busy, you don't have time to post something, that's okay. You already have regularly scheduled content that is pushing out to your social media platform, okay? So Facebook and Twitter are the places that we can schedule posts, okay? We cannot schedule the free postings on Instagram yet. You can do paid ads on Instagram. So I've had quite a few people ask me how they can schedule posts to Instagram, and that is not a feature yet. On this social post, you'll see that we have some quick post opportunities here. And I do have one scheduled post to go out on the 15th, so you guys could see what that looks like. We have all these quick posts here on the right-hand side, makes it super easy for us to just get some regularly flowing content out. Let's see, embrace your airspace. Aromatherapy is great, but if you really want to improve your indoor air quality, keep it circulating, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. A lot of people get bad allergies in the wintertime because their heat's on, dust, all that kind of stuff. I think this is valuable, right? So all I have to do is click that teal forward-facing arrow, and it's going to go ahead and have it connected and ready to go. It's got the text already here. It's got a graphic of home, pretty generic, right? Already there for me. If I don't want it to say this, I can actually click the shuffle button in the upper right and choose some different text. I will say emojis trend really well. People love to see emojis. So I usually opt towards the one that has emojis in it. So prepared for cold and flu season, I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this. And I can move down and include my ownership statement. If you're doing business as logo, that's what DBA stands for, is not uploaded here. You want to make sure that you go ahead and do that. And I do prefer the logos that have a transparent background. If you don't know where your DBA logo is, you can actually click here and it will open the page on My KW Connect to get to logos and branding. You can pop on down, pick your market center. So I'm going to just use the Winston Market Center is 994. And I can download the whole suite of logos from there. So you can just pop your market center number in there and it will show up. I always like to include my ownership statement. Each office is independently owned and operated. And now we can choose to schedule the post for a future date or publish the post immediately. If you have multiple business pages like I do, then you can select as many as you want. And your Twitter, if you have it connected, right? Or you can just select one, whatever you would like to do, and you can publish the post. So this is super easy peasy. That's what these quick posts are for. Oh, post limit with Twitter. Let me untweet. There we go. And so that's going to give us a preview of what it looks like. And we can go ahead and publish the post. So that being said, that is a quick post. So that one is these on the right. We also have these awesome neighborhood videos. Now, I know that not every single neighborhood exists within the Nextdoor atmosphere where we can make it populate into command. And I know I've had a lot of people say, well, this isn't accurate because I know this neighborhood and it doesn't have that many houses or it has too few houses. That doesn't matter, y'all. The devil is not in the details here. This is an eye catcher, right? This is, hey, that's my neighborhood. Cool, that's a video. Who's posting this video? Monica is. Maybe I need to reach out to her, right? Zillow has never been accurate. It never will be accurate. And they do just fine, and so do we. So try not to let yourself get hung up on that. I'm going to pick a neighborhood here in Winston-Salem with which I am familiar. And I'm going to click my next button. Okay, so this is going to give me the neighborhood information, the average price point, what's happening with home sale prices, average per square foot. Are they holding steady, declining? What's happening there? How many homes are for sale? Average number of days on market, neighborhood features. And you can see I can click in these and change them. So if I do in fact feel like this information is inaccurate, then I could adjust it here. But again, this is supposed to be a quick post just to give you something good to catch people's attention on your page. It's already got my information here. This is powered from your, let me check this chat here. How did you get to logos and branding? No, Instagram is not an option for scheduling posts, and logos and branding, I can show you that here in just a sec. So all of my stuff is populating from my KW Connect profile, and I can show you guys where that is if you don't see your things populating. I can pop down, there's my logo, my license number, my brokerage license number, and if I want to pop in my ownership statement here, I can, and go next. And I'm going to look at you guys after this starts playing, make sure you can hear it, and you'll give me a thumbs up so you can see what this looks like. It says it can take up to 10 seconds, so we're going to give it. There we go. Can you hear it? All right, so there we go. Super quick video. I can save and post the video. It's going to give me the same thing. I can write some text here. Do you know what's happening in your neighborhood, etc. Whatever I want. Schedule the post, publish it immediately. So it works pretty much the same way. Now, does anybody have any questions on the quick post? They're right here on the sides. They're actually on your campaign's dashboard too. So when you're first coming in, there's some quick posts here for you. There's also some training tips down here at the bottom. And if you're running paid Facebook ads, then you can also see what's happening with those here if you've run any in the last 30 days. And we were under social posts. Somebody asked me in the chat, how did I get to the DBA logos? So there's one of two ways when you're creating a social post. It is actually going to give you this link that says click here to find your Market Center DBA logo. Or if you just want to go download them, you can go to mykw.kw.com. Again, that's mykw.kw.com. You can go to marketing on the black bar at the top. Got quite a few things here. A lot of people ask me where I get my t-shirts, KW Red Label, but they also have logos and branding here. Let's slide on down, and there's that Market Center number search box. So I hope that that helps. And before we move to something else, does anybody have any questions at all? Feel free to chime in on quick posts. You're welcome. All right, good deal. So that is doing our quick post. Now, another idea is to, and I know that I saw Holly G and Holly B on this call at some point. They work for the agent that I actually came to Keller Williams to work for 5 years ago when I first got to KW from Remax. So they do a great job of scheduling out regular content. Does that mean that you are not going to just list, just sold, under contract in 24 hours, price improved? No, you're going to do all of those things, but those are kind of when they happen type posts, because you can't schedule a week ahead of time and say, this house went under contract in 24 hours. You want that to be real time. So we're talking about posts that are an easy recipe on Wednesday, right? Hump day recipe or something like that. Funny Friday, Freaky Friday during October, Motivational Monday, anything that you can schedule out regularly. Another tip would be the National Day calendars that you can look up on Google. Yes, Brendan, the session is recorded and it will be on my YouTube channel. You can post those national days like National Margarita Day. And you can kind of regularly schedule those. And then maybe every once in a while, you can run a contest. Say like post your picture of your margarita on National Margarita Day to be entered for a chance to win this margarita glass set and a bottle of some fancy kind of tequila, right? So you can throw in some little contest in there, make sure to post it with hashtag Monica Perry Real Estate, right? Whatever it is that's going to drive traffic into your Facebook business page. At the same time, on your Facebook business page, in command, if you're posting, it is not going to your personal page. It is going to your business page, right? So I'm going to go to one of my business pages here, and you will see on here, I don't know, I think I have 94 people that like my business page. That's pretty sad. Granted, I don't sell houses anymore, so I don't really push it out that much. But you're not going to have as many people that like your page and follow your page as you do actual friends on Facebook, because I think that number for me is about 2,000. So once you post to your business page, which keeps you in compliance with all the powers that be so we don't get into trouble, then we can come to the post, or our admins can come to the post, whichever. We can drop this down and we can choose who we are trying to be here, right? So this is Monica Perry, the individual person. This is my Winston-Salem Forsyth County real estate page. You can see I can be all kinds of different people, but you want to go ahead and change to being yourself as the individual Facebook person. And then you're going to share the post, right? And so when you're doing that, it's getting it a much bigger audience that's driving the traffic back to your business page. So that is one of the most important things that you can do. And that's something super simple that you can do from your phone, right? So you can have all this stuff scheduled out. When you see the post go out, then you can just share it to your personal page to get a bigger audience. Does anybody have any questions on that? And why you would want to do that? Okay. All right. So those are your quick posts. What are some other ideas for posts? You could do, there's a lot of Keller Mortgage graphics. So I don't know how many of you have come to a designs class, but if you're in your designs, you can actually make Keller Mortgage graphics. Let me see if I can find one. Surely I have one somewhere. Got somebody in the chat. Interactive. Yep. Okay, let me go to social. Oh, it must be doing something in designs. Let me try this. Guys, this is another thing. I am an incognito like I recommended, but up here on the URL bar, there's an eyeball with a line through it. That's blocking third-party cookies. There are 27 third-party cookies that are blocked. So I can actually click on sites not working, allow cookies, and let's see if that will fix it. Sometimes that is the issue. Let's try one more time. I just want to give you guys an idea of stuff that you can do. No, they must be working in designs. So we're not getting in there today. That's okay, because we're talking about campaigns. So there are Keller Mortgage graphics. You also have a Keller Mortgage link as an agent that if anybody clicks on it and starts talking to a Keller Mortgage loan officer, that it will tie them back to you. They'll say, I see you're working with Monica Perry over at Keller Williams Realty Elite in Winston-Salem. The reason that we do that is because clients can't use Keller Mortgage without having a connection to a Keller Williams real estate agent. So that means that not only new mortgages, but refis, like my brother in Huntersville could get a refi by using my name with Keller Mortgage. And I will tell you that I'm refinancing right now on this house that I'm in, and they are going to save me $800 a month. So use that as a Facebook post. It's free. It is free, right? Use those success stories of your clients with their permission, of course, on how Keller Mortgage has helped them, and use that as one of your free Facebook posts. Not a problem at all. Just make sure that you always ask for permission before you post something like that. Okay, so here we are. We've gone through social posts. The other thing that we can do is direct mail. And as long as nobody has any more questions on social posts, you guys feeling good about that? And I'm looking over here because you guys are on a separate screen. Pretty good? All right. So now we are going to move over into direct mail. Here we can do pretty simple postcards. Yes, you can design them in Designs, and I wouldn't waste my time. You can design them straight out of here. The one in Designs have to get resized to fit. So if you, I'm just going to go ahead and create a new campaign. I'm going to click on direct mail. What am I doing? 123 Main Street. Okay. What's the goal? I'm just going to say advertise a listing. I'm going to use the default template provided and set up the campaign. This is a very simple walkthrough. So let me pull up the MLS real quick because I do not have my own listings. Find a cool one from my office. My office new listings this week. And I'm going to go with this one in King. I think I used this one the other day. I'm just going to go ahead and take that MLS number and copy it and go back over into my Designs. And I'm going to search by the MLS number and pop that number in. Now, if you guys have listings, you see only my listings was selected, they would actually show up there, but I don't have listings. So I'm going to select all listings. I put in the MLS number. There's that cute little house in King. And I'm going to click select. So you see that populated the picture of the house there. Do I want a compact, a default, a modern, or a contemporary? You can see the sizes, right? So I'm going to say this one today. There you go. There's the address, listing price, listing status, just listed, just sold, coming soon. We do have to adjust the bedrooms. It's going to pull in the description from the MLS. Now, I will tell you, this is one of the things that kind of irritates me. It's when we come down to the listing photo. Obviously, if this was your own listing, you would have the photographer's photo saved to your computer, so it wouldn't pose an issue for you. But if I'm trying to pull the photo straight from MLS, sometimes it tells me it's low resolution. So just make sure you have a high-res graphic of the listing, which if it's yours, you will have. And you can upload it and replace it right there. And so what we're aiming for is these green check marks all the way down, right? So this is notifying me that David Keeter is the listing agent. I know that. I'm just borrowing his listing. Thank you, David. And then I'm going to pop down to Market Center. Again, I'm going to upload that DBA logo, pull in the office address and state, and just walk on through and do these few little things that need to be done. None of it's too terribly bad or hard. I'm going to come down to targeting. Now, here's where we get to make the decision. Are you locally targeting this listing? In other words, do you want to put that listing in the center of a map and choose 200 homes or 100 homes around it? Or do you want to tell your database, who you should have their addresses because they are residential real estate agents, that you just listed, under contract, just sold this home? This is your chance to make that choice. So local, it's going to let you work off a map in the next, target your database. It's going to let you add contacts from your database. I'm going to stick with that local targeting. I'm going to have to upload some form of photo so that it will let me move forward. I will take my beach picture. Oh man, even that one, come on. giving me a hard time here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to click save. Oh, still not going to let me use that one either. Sorry, y'all. I really do need to get a picture of a house on here so that I can use it. Picture of Maddie? Nope. So obviously it has to be 960 by, let me see if I have one of Winston that's bigger. Let me try that one right there. No, my goodness. It's just not liking me today. Sorry. All right. I've got to have another picture on here that it will take. Well, it doesn't want me to put a picture in here today, apparently. Wonder if I have any of Wendy's pictures. Let's see. I might. Thank you, Wendy. Maybe? Okay, good. Great. Save. Obviously, you would have your own listing pictures. Sorry about that. So market center is great. Targeting's checked. Budget. That's your chance. How many postcards do you want to do? Say I want to do 100. It's going to cost me 79 bucks. Right? If I want to do 200, it's going to cost me 158 bucks. So it shows you what you're going to be spending there. And then you can actually create a QR code to track if you so choose. You can preview your postcard right here, and that's what it would look like. You can see the back. That's what it would look like. Granted that you would be your own listing agent here. And then we configure our targeting. Yes, I'm sure. It's connecting us to real mailers. It's going to move us to the next stage. And we're going to be patient. Those of you who know me know I'm not very patient. That's okay. Maybe. Come on. This is technology at its finest for you guys. It's always when I am trying to teach a class that this happens to me on something specific. So I'm going to try this again. 1, 2, 3 main. I'm not going to explain it as I go through it. I'm just going to do it quickly. Set up. Pop that MLS number in. Search. Oh, me. Select. Come down. Change this out. Save. Oh. 800 out of 575. Just do that. It usually doesn't go this hard, y'all, I promise. Let me see if I can pull up that picture. I'll click save there. Pull in my market center. It never fails that when I'm teaching a specific subject that they're working on something in there. All right, let's try this again. If it doesn't work this time, we're just gonna move forward. But for any of you that have ever done a mailer, it's gonna pull up a map. It's gonna show you where the target property is, and it's gonna show you 200 homes in this instance because I selected 200 homes around it. Oh, try this again. That's what it was. It was the eyeball, I think. That's my bad. Let's see if it'll work this time. Nope, we're going to move on because I don't want to waste time. But it takes you through, it shows you the house, and you just say, yes, that looks good. You move forward. Make sure you check to send yourself a postcard so you know that they come out. Okay? And that is how the direct mailing out of there works. And full disclosure and disclaimer, a lot of lenders will work with you to do postcards. So while this is a very viable option, check with your lenders, because you saw what the 200 postcards was like $150. A lot of lenders will split that cost with you and do all of the work. So you're only paying $75 for 200 postcards. So check with them. And then if you want to use this option, you can do that also. So I'm going to move back one more to emails. So this is fairly new. We get 5,000 emails from Command every month, right? If we need more than that, then we can upgrade our subscription. Over here on the right, you will see where you can upgrade your account for more. Okay. And I will fully disclose, somebody called me last week and said that they sent out an email, I believe from the Greensboro Market Center. And he said he sent out an email, but it wasn't showing that it sent. So I've yet to get an answer on that, but I have sent many of these out before myself and they work just fine. I don't know if that was a one-off situation, but if you ever run into an issue, please, please, please reach out to me and let me know so I can help you and get it turned into KWRI to get it fixed, right? So here was my Happy New Year one that I only mailed it out to my family. So it was like 4 people. But with these emails, you can create a new campaign. You can do your email, what's your title on 1/13/2020, so I know what I'm doing. What are we trying to do? Advertise a listing, attract listing. These buttons don't do anything per se to the system. Just so you know the answer to this, what they are doing is teaching the artificial intelligence. Okay, when Monica sends out an email to advertise a listing, this is the amount of activity that she gets. When Monica sends out a postcard, email to attract buyers, this is how much she gets in return. And so then it can make suggestions to me on which of my campaigns are working the best, right? So that is why we are telling it what we're doing. So I'm going to click attract buyers this time. I'm going to go ahead and set up the campaign. And this is what your configuration looks like. Where's the account? Where's the email coming from? If you don't like what email you see here, we have to go to the settings up here, settings, to fix this. So if anybody has a question on that, please let me know and I will show you guys while we were in class today where to change this email address. Then you're going to do a recipients list. If you do not have a recipients list yet, you're going to create it. This is where you will see the importance of tagging. So potential buyer 2021. So if I'm trying to attract buyers, right, then I can come down here and start selecting people one by one. That would take forever. Or I can go to my tags and I'm going to pick on my KW Greensboro folks for a minute because I have quite a few of them. I can get down to my K's. Oop. KW Greensboro. That's going to pull up my list of KW Greensboro agents. And I can select all of them and confirm. Right, so now that just made me a potential buyers list of people with this tag. So that's why it's so important to tag, unless you want to go through however many 100 or 1,000 people that you have in your database when you were making your email list. Okay, so you'll see who it's coming from, what's the reply to email. You're going to write in your subject, you know, why rent when you can buy, because I'm pretty sure that we did a buyer. Now we're going to select a design. Here are my templates. So you may not see anything here yet. These are both templates I have made in the Designs app and KW templates that I have taken and adjusted to myself. If you don't have any templates yet, you're going to go to the KWRI templates, or you will have made one in designs. So classic, buy versus rent. Sounds good to me. I'm going to click on that one. It is going to pull up the template for me. Any place that I see stars or asterisks there, chat. You are welcome, Ellen. So over here on the left, where you anywhere that you see the asterisks next to things, that's going to fill in for you. Like my photo, my name, any designations, my license number, all of that stuff is going to be filled in for me, and my download my app is done for me. Whatever legal footer I use on a regular basis is going to be done for me here. So if I wanted to change something, say in this text, I'm going to click the box, I'm going to click the pencil, and on the right, it's going to pop up that text. So say, you know, I wanted that paragraph to really stand out. I could change the font, change the justification, right? And you always want to make sure you click done, or it's not going to do it. So let me do that one more time. You want to change to whatever you're using. You can change your justification. And this one's one of those ones that I probably shouldn't have changed that text. When you're doing it yourself, it's fine. Take out all these spaces. And of course, if you're working fast and easy, like I usually like to do, I wouldn't have made any changes to this in the first place anyway. I would have just been like, looks good to me. IDs of the world know what I'm talking about. All right. And so then I want to make sure I click done. It's going to change it again. Okay. And so I can actually go up to my options and click preview. There you see it pops in my company logo. This is what it looks like. It populated my picture. That website is a clickable link in the email. That's a clickable link in the email. That's my little fake team logo that I popped in there, and my company logo. And then we have this nice disclosure at the bottom. And so this is what it would look like if they were viewing it on a tablet format. And this is what it would look like if they were viewing it on their phone. So if you wonder what how it's going to come across, that's what it's going to look like. Okay. I'm going to come out of preview mode. I can also click options and send a test email to myself if I so chose. I can download the template with merge fields or a raw template. Right? I can save and exit. It is going to take me back to where I was doing my email. It's going to show me a preview of my email on the right-hand side. Got all my stuff done on the left. Pop into this chat. What is the difference? What's the difference between what, Jennifer? Come unmute, unmuted, honey. Oh, the difference in the downloads. I think that's what you were asking. So with the merge fields, that would mean they are filled. Like if I wanted to print it, it would show this version with all of my stuff filled in, with my logo there, my photo there, with all the merge fields filled in. If I did it raw, it wouldn't have that data. It would just be this part. Why would we download a template? If I wanted to print these out, I could download it for print. If I wanted to do it like a mailed letter, in addition to emailing them out, or if I wanted to use it in some other system, I might want to do that raw download and fill in other data. That's really the only reasons I can think. Or the other reason also is to save it for your marketing, right? Our broker in charges like for us to save all of our marketing because the real estate commission says we need to. So that's another reason you might want to download it. And then you would just hit send. And it would go out to that list of 100 people that I had selected over here on the left, right? So these email templates are great. They are a far cry for anybody who was with me before on what we used to have for making emails. And we can now integrate them into Smart Plans, which is awesome. And I love, love, love that. So here we go. That is email campaigns. Does anybody have any more questions before we move on from here? Nope. All right. Going to move on back and keep trucking along. And next up and last is our paid ads. Let me check this chat. Yes, I do a class on Smart Plans. I had actually accidentally scheduled that for the 18th when our office is closed for Martin Luther King Day, but I will get it put back on the calendar. And here we go. Paid ads. I'm going to go through this quick because, like I said, next week I will be diving in deeper on doing Facebook ads. Okay. So pretty much I'm just going to give you a quick gist of it. All right. So I'm going to create a new campaign in the upper right, just like we have been. I'm going to do a social ad paid. I'm going to tell you out of the gate, are there other things to do besides advertise a listing on Facebook? Yes. Do they generate as many leads? No. That is the answer. By far, hands down, you are going to generate the most leads by advertising a listing on Facebook, period. If you do not have a listing, there are 200 of them in my Winston-Salem Market Center and probably 200 of them in the Greensboro Market Center that I work with as well. Ask around. Who doesn't want free advertising? The only time that an agent might say no is if they are already running a Facebook ad on that listing to get leads for their buyer's agents, right? So if you don't have your own listing, ask. You can definitely run ads for other stuff. One of the good ones that I'll show you guys next week is houses that have dropped in price in the last 7 days. You can do a list of houses that, you just go to your website, look up houses that have had their price decreased in the last 7 days and use that link in your Facebook ad. And you're still going to get more leads from advertising one single listing. We have learned the more simple that we keep these ads, the more that we get from them. So advertising a listing with one single photo and very simple verbiage has always gotten the most leads. So I'm just going to name it test. I'm going to advertise a listing. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but you have to have your business account with a credit card loaded into the system to be able to connect these. So if you've ever noticed in your settings, I'll show you real quick. And as you can see, I'm opening up another command window. So for those of you that don't know, you can have multiple command windows open at once. If you've ever noticed in your settings that there are two connections for Facebook, one is for post scheduling. That's if it's free, it's for me. Social posts. That is what that is for. And so, yes, it says my name, but it also says that it's just my business pages. So there's nothing in here where you can schedule it to post out to your personal page. I just want to make sure that I made that clear. Here's your second one, and this is for Facebook Ads Manager. So this is the paid campaigns. And then you can also connect a paid account for Twitter down here. And so that you want to make sure you have connected before you try to run an ad through Facebook, Insta, or Twitter. So it'll give you the chance to connect down here at the bottom. And we're going to set up the campaign. Oh, I know somebody's going to ask the difference between running them on Facebook and Instagram. In my opinion, Facebook's better for generating leads. Instagram is better for building your brand, right? Brand awareness on Instagram, leads on Facebook. Neither one of those is wrong. Both of those are worth money. But what is your intention? If your intention is to do both, run it on both. As the artificial intelligence grows, it will route your money the way you want it. So if you're trying to get brand awareness, it's going to route your money that way. If you're trying to get leads, it's going to route more of your money to the other side. So that will start happening. I'm going to go ahead and set up campaign. Looking for the same things. You're going to look for, come on. Going to look for the property. Let me just get rid of that. I'm going to put the MLS number in, just like I was. Change that to all listings. And this is how you would do it. If you don't have your own listing, you would just pull up the property that somebody said it was fine. And if you're too, if you don't want to ask, I'm happy to ask for you. We actually have, oh, check out your new campaign. Look, Gary Keller up there in the corner talking to me. So these are our new guides that run you through how to do things, but I already know how to do them. So I'm going to hit skip. But if you want to let that guide run, you can. So this is giving me a preview on the right. Yes, a credit card has to, oh no, not for free stuff, Holly, no, not for social. It's giving you the thumbnail on the right, telling you what it's going to do. Name and goal is checked. And you can see the house is picked. Add text. Main copy is being pulled out of the MLS. Headline. I usually just say welcome home. Like I said, the more simple that we keep these, the better. You can see it start to populate that preview on the right. Description. Try this. You could be coming home to this. Why do you think they're suggesting it? Because they tested it and it worked. Right? So we can actually just click the button that says use this suggestion and it's going to pop it in. We could also click shuffle if we wanted to see something else. Okay. Then we're going to click save, add text, add media. Same thing. We're going to pick the house, include my ownership statement because I always do. And so this is showing that my DBA logo is not there, so I can actually show you. I'm going to browse my computer for my logo. And I think I'm going to take, I'll use Greensboro's this time. I'm going to take that one with a clear background. And so that's why I like those transparent backgrounds, as opposed to putting a big white box in the corner of my picture. It's just that nice overlay. So that's why I like to use those. If I would rather this be on the left, I can switch it. It's going to pop over there. And I'm going to go ahead and save. So that part's done. Now, this is the most important part of this. I cannot iterate this enough. Yes, you can add other images, and yes, you can add videos, and you still get more leads if you use one single photo. It has been proven. That was asked in the chat. This is the most important part of what I'm going to tell you, and I know I'm going through this quickly, and that is on purpose. You can only pick one business page, but the most important part is you need to be using the Facebook lead generation form. If you do not use the Facebook lead generation form, these contacts will not populate into command. They will not populate into command. So when you're using the Facebook lead form, it keeps them in the Facebook ecosystem, and it just starts auto-populating stuff, you know, the way that you're shopping and you don't even think about what you're doing and that it's got your information before you can undo it. That's what this is doing. It will not pull in that contact data. So if you run an ad and it says you have 2,000 impressions and you have 0 leads, it could be because you did not use the Facebook lead generation form. That could be the reason. So down here in the follow-up destination URL, you have 2 choices, multiple choices really. If you have your own website, you could put that in there. I usually, let me take that address. real quick. I usually just, if I'm going to be running a Facebook ad, I'm only going to be running one at a time. So I usually just go to my agent site and pull up that listing address. And there's the listing. I'm going to let it pull up that specific listings page. Okay. I'm going to copy it, copy that link up there. And I'm going to move back over to here. So for your follow-up destination URL, you could just put that in there, because my call to action button says learn more. Well, how can they learn more? I don't want to lie to them. If they click on it, I want to give them what I told them I was giving them. In this instance, that is learning more. So if they click on it, by the time that they finish filling out their lead gen form, they're going to get to learn more, because they're going to see how many bedrooms, baths, square footage, additional photos of the property. They can click on the virtual tour button here. They can ask me questions. They can try to save it. Any of those things is going to prompt them to create an account with my website. It's going to capture everything that they're doing, right? It's going to show them schools, upcoming open houses, mortgage calculators, Keller mortgage link, Keller covered link, activity for the home, homes nearby that home, and a contact form at the bottom branded to me. Okay. So you can also do that. For people who run multiple Facebook ads, I have heard that they like to create their own landing page for just that specific listing, and that's what they put down there. They choose the landing page and pick the one for that specific listing for tracking purposes. Okay. Any questions there? Feeling good?
Quick question.
Yeah.
It's working. Yay. About the image and video. Are we able to select both at the same time, or is it one
No.
or the other?
It's one or the other.
Okay. So if you want to do both, you have to go back and do another one.
I mean, you could, yeah, you would have to, but you know, like I said, if they're clicking to go through, if it's like a virtual tour, if they're clicking to go through to your web page, then the virtual tour is going to be there as well, right?
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So you can actually add multiple images, and it puts that in like a carousel type format.
Okay.
And so it would roll across. So say I wanted to add that kitchen, save and crop image. Let's save it. And so now this is a carousel.
Oh, I tried to do that on Facebook and it would not cooperate.
Really? But like I said, the best results that everybody has gotten is one single image, period. Right? This is one of those instances where, from what I've heard, and you can look on all the Facebook pages for this kind of stuff. We're Keller Williams agents, y'all. We share everything with each other, right? People are telling you exactly what they're doing to run their Facebook campaigns and how they're having success. So take it and duplicate it, right? That's what we're a company of, systems and models. They're there for a reason, right? So that we can have success without having to stretch ourselves out too much from being the fiduciary for our people. So that's the Facebook configuration. We have our check mark done. Ad targeting, I always like to use custom settings. And I usually just do 15 miles radius, totally up to you, depending upon the property, right? If it's a big farm out in the country, you might want to extend it out further. You can add or change interest, and as much as my fingers hate typing it, I always add Zillow, because if they're looking at Zillow on Facebook, then they might be interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And I pick realtor.com. I don't mind them as much. And I select those at a minimum. I select those two things. If y'all want to get down into a nittier grittier, you can, but I always at least select those. Say Facebook ad, got a green check there. Duration and budget, they recommend 10-day campaigns at $1 per channel per day. I usually do $25 for 10 days. There are lots of schools of thought on this. Some people like to spend $5 a day. That's a choice that you're going to make for yourself depending upon your budget. I do recommend that you do some testing on this, you know. Don't overspend, especially if you're a new agent. But if you want to try out a campaign, you know, try it out, but I wouldn't spend more than $25 starting off. The other important thing is before you run this Facebook ad, please, 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 please make sure that you have a smart plan set up to follow up with these people, because these have been known to get 30 to 50 leads, and it's hard to keep up with that many leads at one time, especially if you're a single agent. And I want you guys to understand that internet leads are internet leads. Sometimes they're going to require multiple touches. Somebody might have clicked on this because they just thought it was cute. Somebody might have clicked on this because they thought it was cute, and all of a sudden it said they were like, I might want to buy a house. They haven't even talked to a lender yet. All of those things could be a possibility. So setting up a smart plan to follow up with them. For instance, if you go into smart plans and go to the library, you can search for 66 day. I'm just grabbing one that I know is here. Facebook leads follow-up smart plan shared by Marty Miller. These are the steps. Sends a text, delays a day. Call them, delays a day. Sends a text, delay, text, delay, right? So you see how far this goes down, because sometimes that's what it takes for an internet lead. But unless you don't plan, you know, if somebody says, well, they're not going to buy for 6 months or a year, well, are you going to be in business in 6 months or a year? Because if the answer is yes, you're going to need business then. So that's okay. Put them in your database, put them on the monthly neighborhood nurture, mark a task down, let this roll out, and then contact them when it gets closer to the time, right? The other question I get asked about smart plans is, well, what if I put them on this 30-day smart plan and they answer me on my first text? Great. Take them off the smart plan and start a conversation with them. Turn them into a client, right? So if they start answering your smart plan attempts, just turn it off and then start a conversation. Good?
Monica, yeah, are they able to opt out at any point?
Yes, they are able to opt out of email and text. And coming soon, and now I'm not giving you a date because I don't know a date, there's going to be the do not call list is going to come in to the system, and it's going to start giving us warnings on this person asked you not to text them, this person's on the do not call list, right? It's going to integrate into the system, but I'm not making any promises on dates. But yes, when they get if they get a text from Twilio, they have an option to opt out. And that's okay. If they opt out, turn it off for that person. Number next. That's what real estate's all about. It's a funnel. The more you put in, the more you get out at the bottom. Right? Well, you guys have been awesome. Our class actually took the whole hour. I'm amazed. Had people talking to me today. Made me feel good. Made me feel special. Does anybody have any more questions today? I know we went kind of quick, but I wanted to make sure that I got to cover everything in campaigns. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to leave this page. So social posts, direct mail, emails, paid ads. Each one of them have their benefits, right? There's a lot of different things we can do with them. The most important thing is consistency and follow-up, right? Be consistent with it and follow up with the people that you get in contact with. And if nobody else has any questions, then we're going to end it up. Anybody?
No, but thank you.
You're welcome. After this video
Thank you, Monica.
converts, you're welcome. I'm going to pop it up onto my YouTube channel. If you do not know how to find my YouTube channel, KW Triad Tech in the search bar on YouTube. Good? All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your day. See
Thank
ya.
you.
Thank you.